Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Hacks and Hobbies Live. I'm your host, Junaid Ahmed, and today we have an inspiring lineup of guests ready to share how they're building impactful legacies through their passionate pursuits. Joining us today is Jim Rojas-Taylor, a Marine Corps veteran turned actor, playwright, and passionate advocate for emotional and mental literacy. Jim's powerful journey has led him to author the transformative book, All Your Best Selves. Then we also have Marcus Norman, a versatile investor specializing in creative strategies from real estate to equity investments, dedicated to educating others on building sustainable generational wealth. Together, we'll explore how each of these extraordinary individuals is turning their passion into purpose, creating lasting impacts not only in their own lives, but in their communities and beyond. So let's dive in and discover how passion fuels legacy. Welcome. So
Thank
first
you
we
for
have
having me.
Appreciate it.
absolute 100%. Let me bring you on stage. First up, we have Marcus. Oh my God, what did I do? I locked that screen. First up, we have Marcus. Marcus, thank you so much for coming on. And then we also have James Taylor here. Guys, thank you so
Hi.
much for coming on.
How you doing? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Sweet,
Glad to be
sweet.
here.
Awesome. Marcus, you specialize in diverse investment areas. How can individuals strategically use smart investing to create generational legacies?
So people can use smart investing to create generational wealth by looking at what's out there. The days of looking at stocks, bonds, and mutual funds still has its place, but it's not, I've learned over time that's not what the big investors play. And
Mm,
so we have to diversify outside of our jobs. If you're still working a 9 to 5 job, one of the things I did early on in my investing stage is I opted out of my employers when I was working for someone, my employer's 401k plan, because I found that that money was better served on my own. And so
mm,
I opted out of any 401k plan that my employers would offer, so that would increase my paycheck, and I would use that additional income to find external investments outside of a traditional stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And they're out there. Real estate, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Everybody can attest to that. Every entrepreneur can
yeah,
attest to that book. But that's how I found that there are other unique investments. You can invest in wine. You can invest in real estate. You can invest in Airbnb arbitrage. You can invest in cannabis. You can invest in so many other things
yeah.
outside of a traditional stock portfolio. And so just take one way if you're struggling to get capital, opt out of your insurance. I don't teach anyone to do what I did.
Sure.
But if you can find those investments and you can find those niches and want to invest in real estate, want to invest in other industries, that's one way to start to get access to capital to start.
No, that's really powerful. Thank you, Marcus, for sharing. And James, for you, um, you transitioned remarkably from the Marine Corps to acting and now advocate for emotional literacy. I love acting. I did a little bit of it back in the days. How does understanding emotional and mental literacy help individuals build meaningful legacies?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of different ways because you have to appreciate that. I think of it this way: it's like the human brain is the most powerful supercomputer known to mankind,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, what's the
Absolutely.
operating system you have for that supercomputer? What's your Windows 11? What's your Linux Red Hat? What's your iOS? How do you
Mm-hmm.
interface it? We have this powerful supercomputer no one teaches us how to use. I'm making the argument that about 100 years ago, a group of acting masters accidentally created it. Because you have to appreciate, we're at the point now where we're teaching actors how to use real emotions in imaginary
Mm-hmm.
circumstances. We're building real working mindsets for use on the stage. And I'm just making the argument, why are we working so much harder to build imaginary people than real people? So if we
Amen.
take these tools and techniques, we can build better human beings. And a case in point is this that everybody goes through. Everyone goes through adolescence. And up until this point, we've been going in blind. Well, what if we gave tools and techniques for emotional regulation to kids in middle school? So when they hit adolescence, they're not unarmed. They understand how emotions work, they have a grasp on it, and now they can engage their emotions much better. As for mental literacy, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but there was a great
Mm-hmm.
example that came up recently. There was this cartoon on Disney Channel. I can't think of the name of it. Hold up. Gravity Falls.
Mm.
Gravity Falls. Now, it was revolved around this character writing a journal. And what happens nowadays is some people have so much access to what's going on that people figured out which character in the show wrote the journal, thus spoiling the ending. So what the creator did was he created an image of a different character writing the journal, put it
Mm.
on a screen, put like timestamps like it was in production, took
Yeah.
a picture of it, put it on 4chan anonymously, and he's like, "Look what I found going through the studio or studio tour." He sent another picture doing the same thing, but of another character that was a mind reveal that was true, that actually happened. So it gave validity to the first one. After that, he sent out under his name, he sent out a tweet that said, "I'm so fuming right now," insinuating that he saw those. Then he deletes the tweet and he let the internet do the rest. So all these people jumped on it. They went off of the character they knew that was it to this fake character that he created. Again, here's this person who, I mean, probably tens of thousands of viewers. He
Yeah.
changed their mind without them knowing. And it wasn't in a negative way. He did it to protect their viewing experience because they accidentally spoiled the ending until he course corrected on it. And it's like he could have just went through the thing where he changed the ending, but he's like, no, I'm not going to change my ending. I'm going
Yeah.
to use my brain power and change the audience.
That's so engaging and powerful because we all heard of companies leaking information through back sources, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing got leaked out, and it creates that fake narrative that people are like, oh my god, we are looking into fake information or leaked information, and you're so built into it. And what's funny is that I follow Apple Insider, Canon Rumors, Sony Rumors, all these technology blogs, and they're always talking about these rumors, like what's going to happen. So it's really cool that you can use the same tactics in marketing a movie or film and whatnot. It's
Hmm.
pretty genius.
But it's about knowing it. That's the problem is most
Yes.
people don't think about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new way to think
Yeah.
in a way we've never done before.
I love it. Marcus, you mentioned a lot of different investment strategies that people are either overlooking or they're just so busy in their lives that they're just letting the company do the investments for them with the 401k. And but you're like, hey, I can do better. Let me take my money out, have more income, and then I can, put into investment. Doesn't it negate the fact that now that you're getting more income, you have to pay higher taxes on that income? Whereas if you were to put it directly into a 401k, you're paying less taxes on the full income. How does that work out? Or am I thinking too much about it?
Absolutely. So one, the thing I said was I opted out entirely. So I didn't invest at all in a 401k. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not talking about liquidating what you already have. I'm talking
Sure.
about opting out altogether. So
Yeah.
that didn't create a tax complication. Additionally, I hire an accountant to do
Mm.
my taxes, and I run several businesses, and these are LLCs and pass-through entities, which lower
Yeah.
and that lowers my taxable income as well because now I've associated myself as an employee
Yeah.
and lowered my taxable liability through my
I like
business
that.
expenses. And so those are the two things. Now, the other piece of the pie, I opted into a Roth IRA whenever I
Mm-hmm.
did invest in 401ks.
Yeah.
And one of the unique things that I learned while investing in Roth IRAs is that there is no tax penalty to withdraw on the money that you've already contributed. And
Mm.
so, for example, if you contributed $2,000 and that money made another $2,000, you can withdraw the $2,000 that you initially invested without
Mm-hmm.
tax penalty because that's your money.
Yeah.
And so there's different states of minds, but I don't encourage anyone to do the things that I do without talking to a tax
Without
professional
talking. Yeah. Yeah.
to
Makes
learn
sense.
these insights that I learned and what helped me invest and lower my taxable liability. You got people like our new president who braggadociously says, I pay zero taxes. And so those statements, those comments, and these comments that come out through big entrepreneurs, big industry leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and business owners, you continuously hear the song, right? You continuously hear the song. I pay zero taxes. I pay 20 taxes. I pay 10% on taxes. Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg pays no taxes. All these people should strike a nerve within us to do some research. And you need to
Amen.
hire a professional to educate you on that.
I love that. Thank you, Marcus, for bringing that point. We all need professionals in the area, in this area, so that we can uh, not get in trouble. Make sure that everything we're doing is doing it the right way. Thank you. This is really valuable. Now, you mentioned that there's a lot of different ways to invest, and what is the most overlooked investment area for building long-term wealth?
Great question. Um, Yourself. And I know that
Amen.
sounds cliche. I know that sounds cliche, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
I have spent an exorbitant amount of money investing in myself and learning into my own education. I remember a CPA that I was talking to, and this is why he was a financial advisor, and he got
Mm-hmm.
out of financial advisor space because routinely he would come across clients who didn't have money, and he would
Yeah.
come across clients who are millionaires. And a millionaire comes to him, or a CEO of a company tells him, "Hey, I have all this money. I have my own business. This is my company, and it's making
Yeah.
me XYZ dollars. How much money should I invest in the stock market?" Well, he could not tell that CEO to give him his capital to invest in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
He told that CEO, which got him ultimately led him to leave financial advising, is you need to invest that money in your business because your business is making more money than I could ever make you in the stock market.
Amen.
And that's contradictory
It
to
is.
what a financial advisor to do. No, give me your money. Let me put it in bonds. Let me put it in
Right.
stocks. And so the best investment, if you have a business, is invest in your business, right? That's
Amen.
going to bring you the biggest capital and returns on your investment. But i.e., invest in yourself, invest in you and your education and your mindset and your development and grow that. And the money will follow as long as you're serving enough people.
100%, Marcus. We absolutely need to invest in ourselves, and that's why we're here, right? We're on this podcast. We're talking about why we're here, what journey we took, what lessons we learned, because we can teach others. We can, at least give them insight of what's really possible, because there's hundreds and millions of people that are consuming content, that are scrolling through the different social media apps. But what they don't know is that if they just spent that 1 hour every single day learning and investing in themselves, they could go so much farther, right? Jim, I want to ask you, best emotional literally practice. Sorry, what is the best emotional literacy practice for daily life that we can implement in our lives today?
I don't know if the best is the right answer. There's different tools that do different things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you have a toolbox, it's like, what's the best tool? It depends on what I need to do, depending
Mm-hmm.
it's to dictate which tool. Like the Stanislavski system, it's 7 questions. These 7 questions are designed to break down the moment for the actors so they can ground their character in the
Mm-hmm.
moment. Well, I mean, we as civilians, people, we have character. We have
Yeah.
characters. We talk about it all the time. Work hard, build your character, don't lie, affects your character. Well, if we take these 7 questions and break down a moment in our life, we ground ourselves, our character in the moment. And the 7 questions are simple. It's number one, who am I? This is the moment in relation to you. Number two, where am I? This is the moment in relation to the environment. Number three, when is it? This is the moment in relation to time. Number four, what do I want? This is the moment in relation to purpose. Number
Mm-hmm.
five, why do I want it? This is the moment in relation to desire. Number six, how do I get it? This is the moment in relation to action. And number seven, what's in my way? This is the moment in relation to obstacles. As you can see, these are life questions. Like, there's so many people it blows my mind. Like, what do you want? And like, I never thought about it. Bro, if you didn't
Mm-hmm.
think about it, why do you deserve it? How do you get things if you don't think about an actionable way to get them? And
Yeah.
that's what this is. But again, it's for the imaginative. It's designed for actors to know what they need to do in the moment for the stage, but it works the same as life. Because just like if you think about stage fright, What is stage fright? It's an actor not knowing their beats, it's not knowing their moments, it's not knowing their lines, it's not knowing their blocking. Well, in real life, what is stage fright? It's insecurity. How do you beat insecurity? Learn
Yeah,
your lines, learn your moments, learn the beats, answer all the questions. And that's
yeah.
all it is. It's about answering questions.
I love that. I love that, James. Thank you. And getting to know who you are, where you're trying to get to, is going to help you so much along the way in your life, in the real life, in business, you name it. I mean, Marcus shared it, right? You got to know what investment model can you use to grow that money. If it's your business, if it's a stock, if you're working for a company, it's probably the stock. But if you own your own business, maybe you need to invest that money in your own company. Maybe bring in training for your team members so that they can be better and they can work harder and or harder or smarter. I think there was a HubSpot CEO recently put out a memo for an internal memo for the entire company, but he also leaked it, right? And then what it said is that every single employee is required to use AI in their work. And if they're not
Hmm.
using AI in their work, then they can find another job. And what this shows, what this goes to show is also, it's almost like you're telling your employees, hey, you need to use a computer to do your job. You need to use this software to do your job. So what's AI doing? What's AI enabling us to do? Same thing. It's getting 10 times the result and making you a much smarter employee than somebody who's just using their mind. You know, just like James, you mentioned, our brain is the most powerful supercomputer that we know. But what if you get 10x that supercomputer's powers learning ability? It's almost like the Matrix, right? When Neo's sitting on that table and he tells I can't remember his name. He's like, I want to learn kung fu, and he plugs in the disc
Morpheus.
for kung fu. Not Morpheus.
Oh, no,
It
the guy
was
in the chair.
yeah, the guy in the
Yeah,
chair.
I forgot his name too.
He has
Hank?
an
No,
amazing
the
character too.
mm-hmm.
He's like, I want to learn kung fu, and he plugs in the disc, and he's like, I know kung fu, and Morpheus goes, show me, right? So that's what AI is able to do for us. It's 10x's our learning capability, researching capability, and I think we need to embrace it more. So, guys, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to asking you questions, getting a little sliver of where you come from, what it is that you can teach our audience and learn from this. This is friggin' awesome. I love it. Um, Guys, thank you so much for coming on to the show and watching this. If you have any questions for Marcus or James, please post them in the comments because I will be asking these questions with them when we have a one-on-one conversation with them. James, Marcus, thank you so much. This was fun.
Thank you, Jen. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you having me. Both of you guys. It's nice to meet you both.
Absolutely. You too.
Absolutely.
Same to you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this show. If you have any questions for James and Marcus, please post them in the comments. We'll be asking them on a one-on-one question in the episode. All right, take care, and we'll catch you in the next one.